You know that feeling, right? That little gap between the career you have and the life you actually want? We spend so much of our lives at work, but for a lot of us, it feels way more like a grind than a calling. Well, in this explainer, we're going to try to bridge that gap. We'll dive into how you can align your professional ambition with your deepest personal values to build a career that doesn't just pay the bills, but one that really truly feels like you. So here's our game plan. First up, we'll tackle the modern work dilemma that so many of us are facing. Then, we're going to redefine what it means to see work as a true calling. After that, we'll get into some real practical strategies for spiritual alignment. See how leadership can completely transform a workplace, and finally, look at the incredible payoff of living a more integrated life. All right, let's start with the problem itself, because for way too many people, there's this growing sense that our careers are taking a lot more from us than they're giving back. It's a simple question, but man, it's a powerful one. Do you really enjoy your work? Or do you get that classic Sunday evening dread, where the stress of the coming week just starts creeping in? This isn't a new thing, by the way. The writer of Ecclesiastes was talking about this thousands of years ago, that when we don't find happiness in what we do, it just feels like pointless labor. And that feeling, that's really the heart of the modern work dilemma. You know, researchers actually have a name for this feeling: work-family conflict. And it's not just about being busy. It's a real imbalance where the pressures from your job start to spill over and poison your family life, or the other way around. And this conflict is a huge source of dissatisfaction for so many of us. And here's what that conflict actually looks like in real life. It's not just some academic idea. It's that constant stress, that feeling of being totally burned out. It's strained relationships with the people you love most. It's feeling disconnected from your own family or losing sight of the values that are supposed to guide you. If any of these are hitting home, it might be a sign that things are a little out of balance. But here's the good news. It really doesn't have to be this way. The solution starts with a shift in perspective, reframing how we think about our careers, moving from seeing work as just a job to viewing it as a genuine calling. And there are a couple of really powerful ways to get there. On one hand, from a faith perspective, there's this idea of a creation mandate, the belief that our work is a primary way we serve a higher purpose. On the other hand, there's a broader spiritual path, seeing work as a way to find meaning by aligning it with your deepest personal values. But here's the key. Both paths lead to the exact same destination, a career that is absolutely filled with purpose. Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem and we've redefined our purpose. Now for the really important part. How do we actually do this? Let's dig into some strategies that you can use right away. This is such a great practical framework. First, aligning your goals. This just means actively asking yourself, does this next career move get me closer to my values or further away? Second, positive thinking. This can be as simple as spending 2 minutes journaling each morning to set your intention for the day. Third, reframing your job as service. This changes everything. A coder isn't just writing lines of code, they're building tools that help people connect. Fourth, find a mentor. Seek out someone who's already walked this path and can share their wisdom. And finally, and this one is so important, schedule rest. In our 24/7 world, you have to intentionally carve out time to disconnect. It's not lazy, it's absolutely essential. Now, while these individual steps are huge, they become so much easier when the place you work actually supports them. And the biggest factor there? It's all about leadership. So let's look at how a different kind of leadership can create a culture where people can thrive, both at work and at home. It's this idea called servant leadership, and it basically flips the traditional corporate pyramid upside down. Instead of employees existing to serve the leaders, leaders see their main job as serving their employees and building a healthy culture. Think about a company like Southwest Airlines, right? They're famous for their employees first philosophy. The idea is simple. If you take care of your people, the growth and profit will follow. So what does this look like in the real world? Well, it boils down to 3 big things. First, inclusion, making sure every single person on the team feels like their voice matters. Second is empathy, and this is more than just hearing people, it's active listening, really trying to understand where they're coming from. And third, loyalty. But this isn't the kind of loyalty you demand. It's the kind you earn by building a culture of trust and a mission people can actually get behind. And here's the amazing part. The benefits don't just stay in the office. When you're in a workplace that values these things, you learn skills like empathy and better communication. And guess what? You take those skills home. You have more energy, you're less stressed, which leads to better engagement with your family and just a higher overall satisfaction with your life. A better work life really does create a better home life.
So, what's the ultimate payoff for all of this? We've talked about the problem, the purpose, and the practice. Now, let's look at the actual evidence for why this whole integrated approach is so incredibly powerful. Okay, check this out. This table shows some fascinating data from a study on this very topic. Researchers looked at 4 different types of work-family conflict. Now, look closely. They found that things like your job taking up too much of your time, well, it didn't have a statistically significant link to lower life satisfaction. But look at that last one, the one in bold. When the strain from family issues spills over into your work life, that has a significant negative impact on your overall happiness. Significant is just the researchers' way of saying this connection is very real and not just some random coincidence. It's powerful proof of how deeply our two worlds are connected. And this is where that data comes from. Academic research like this confirms what a lot of us feel deep down, that conflict between work and home isn't just an inconvenience, it's a serious threat to our well-being.
This quote just sums up the whole message so beautifully. It's a powerful reminder that fulfillment doesn't come from just grinding it out, working harder and longer. Real peace, real contentment comes from a place of balance and trust, recognizing our worth isn't just tied to our productivity.
So, at the end of the day, building a fulfilling career isn't about choosing your values or success. It's about integrating them. It's about creating a life where your work and your spirit are actually in harmony. And that leaves us with one final question to think about. What does a truly fulfilling career look like to you?